I've been trying to get myself right. You can see I'm still a little red in the face. Um, but I'm coming on here live, real, authentic, and can't always be happy go lucky, right? I want to show all of me, all of my parts, and what I'm feeling today. Hi, Maureen. How are you? It's uh, it's been quite a roller coaster for me this week, which I do want to talk about. The answers and information that I've gotten as far as good. I'm glad you're good. Yeah, I've had these amazing experiences this week. And then yesterday, or shortly after, what day was it? I guess it was Friday. Yesterday, uh, I woke up with a really bad headache, and we had that big giant um, X class 2.87 flare, two of them from the sun, which that energy is moving towards Earth now. We're going to have some kind of solar storm. We're not really sure exactly what kind of solar storm, but feeling it, been feeling it. That's the largest. That's the largest flare yet in years, in several years. So I felt it, and it was Thursday. It was Thursday because I had an amazing experience Thursday, followed by kind of a crash. So I want to talk about some of that, and from what I've been receiving, we are moving through, the earth is moving through newer territory, bands and bands. Oh, thank you. I want to talk about this too. So don't let me forget. I actually wore the shirt to remind myself of what I want to talk about. One of the things that has really been frustrating me lately. But the earth, we're moving through these bands, these I guess you could just call them walls or bands of frequency, very high frequency, but then also walls or bands of low frequency also. And it all serves its purpose. And I understand that we can't always be high. We can't always be up in the ethers and high. But when I actually get pulled down through some of the darker energies is when I really have some eye-opening understandings of myself and my journey. And just looking at the astrology from what I've been experiencing, especially when it comes to things that I'm frustrated with. Yeah, I wish too. That's one of my frustrations. And it's been, I have moments where I just am blown away by the unity that I find. And a lot of it is through here, through engaging through the screen. But I still feel you. I still feel the energy and the connection. I've made connections in real life, in human to human. But when I find myself disappointed is where people will be on the same mind's bandwidth, same mindset, same intention as me, and will say, "Yeah, we're gonna do this together." Like one of my biggest intentions is to create more community and support for all of us. And when I meet people that have other resources, that it's like, yeah, they say one thing, but then their actions show another. And I do understand that when somebody is being brought through their own challenge, and the challenges usually lie within finances. It's usually the root chakra thing. How's the money going to come? I don't feel safe and secure and stable in I'd love to do that, but we got to keep going in the old way. And I'm just like, I get it. I'm not going to judge anybody that hi Patsy. Hi Patsy, hi Crystal, hi Maureen. Thank you for listening. Stop me if I'm rambling, because I do have a lot to get off of my chest here. Yeah, so I find that has been one of my biggest struggles, especially in the last few years, especially when I know that when I took a big turn and change in my life and was determined to have this new path of, and you can't really go back from there. But I was under the impression that I was not going to be walking it alone. Like, and here we are, like 5-6 years later, and I find myself still operating solo, and it gets really frustrating. On top of that, and I'm not complaining. I am complaining, but it's okay. Sorry. I have to get these off my chest because this is part of my Chiron too, and I want to tie that in. It's the disappointment when I find that I find certain connections and that they get pulled away by their challenges, get pulled off path, and then I'm left on the same path solo. It's been a repetitive thing for me, and if anybody can see through that blind spot that I can't see, please, by all means, I am open to anything from anybody else. But that has been my experience. So this week I had a lot of high highs. I had a lot of amazing experiences doing working with one-on-one with people in sessions that are new to me, that I've been guided through with spirit to really help people dive into their different parts work. And wow, it's been, I mean, that alone was a blessing and a gift to not only be able to assist somebody in doing that, but to experience it firsthand. Someone really letting go and allowing their parts to come out and speak to me. Unbelievable. So I know that spirit is showing me the way and lifting me up right before it's like, boom, now we're going to give you some disappointments after the fact in a different area of life. But yeah, let's see what you guys are saying. Hi, Paige. Time moving so fast. Yes, it is. This week, I'm like, it's Saturday already? I feel like, yeah, I agree. Moving really fast. I love that. We need that special safe space. It gets icky sometimes. I love finding other like-minded people. I do too. It really does. It helps. And I can't help but continue to follow this inner fire that I have, this whatever is driving me and guiding me and pulling me on my path. It's very strong. It is very intense, and I do trust it. I just find that my Chiron really got hit today, yesterday into today, in a big way. And it really is, we've got Mars in a trine with Chiron, so that's highlighting our wounds around certain projects or things that we're trying to get started, or how we confront others or we get shut down. And the moon in a sextile with Chiron is highlighting all of these emotionally charged wounds that we still have within ourselves. And because Chiron represents our core wounds from childhood, has been retrograde and will be stationing direct on the 26th, along with the full moon in Cancer. We're in pre-shadow of Chiron stationing direct, so that energy is stronger. So we're gonna get triggered in childhood wounds and whatever might still be. I didn't earlier in the week, I'm like, go ahead, trigger me, I feel great. And then boom, I get hit with this really deep disappointment. And then that disappointment had me questioning, was that even real? Is this really the path that I'm going to be taking, or do I quit? Do what? It's very confusing, right? Sun squaring Neptune, moon squaring Venus. So it all kind of makes sense astrologically, and then add on the sun's energy and these big bands, these big waves of energy that we are moving through. It's really wild. And we've had the Geminid, I think you call it, Geminids, meteor showers. They've been pretty spectacular if anybody's had a chance to check those out. Moving through these bands of frequency, it's affecting our patterns, our subconscious patterns. What did I write? Oh, you're a slave to yourself and you don't even know. I wrote that last night. Another disappointment, not a disappointment, because I understand Mercury retrograde and the challenges. I feel like I got shadow banned this week on YouTube, just because the week prior I had a lot of views, it doesn't, I say it doesn't matter, it does, because I do take the time to do videos and the zodiac, and I don't want to feel like that's a wasted energy. And I know it's not, but I know that YouTube's new algorithm or computer program, and I have to be really careful with my words here because it picks up on words like WAR, even if I'm reading cards and I'm talking about the warrior, and that might even be something that's going to shadow ban me, meaning that it takes my platform and puts it in the bottom of the list, so I don't get recommended and I don't get shown. So any of you who are subscribers, make sure that you click that notification bell, even like unclick it and click it again, because things keep, anytime any of us content creators use certain words that could be, we could even get completely banned. We first get shadow banned, and it's unfortunate, but that is how it goes. And I am all on board with being creative with my words as best as I can. What else do I have here? I talked about Chiron. So once Chiron moves direct, and that's going to be at the 15-degree mark of Aries, we'll be then moving through the second half of the Aries archetype with Chiron. So that'll be new for us also, and that's going to be quite interesting. What I have been picking up again with moving into this next year, through the end of this year, which we are almost done the end of this year, and we still are in that right before solstice energy also. So it is a good deep look inward. Can be a little bit slower, time to chill, time to reflect and unwind for sure. There's such intense duality is what I'm picking up right now, more so than there has been. And I don't know if it's just my sensitivities. I don't think so. I feel like many people are feeling it and just aren't talking about it. And those that are talking about it are probably talking about it on their YouTube channels and things like that. So good for everybody who is talking about it, because I have been witnessing when I do go out. For example, I was at Target yesterday, and there was this young girl. She was in like high school age, and school had just let out, so she must have just gotten on her shift. And she's, checking out this woman, and then there's a guy in front of me. And we all had like one thing. The woman, for whatever reason, she just started yelling. The woman that she was checking out with, she used the wrong card or something. I don't know what the problem was, but she got really mean and nasty with this poor young girl behind the checkout line. And there was another guy that's like, ma'am, let me take you over here, I'll help you. And she's like, I don't have time for that, and blah blah blah, like really like making a big scene to this poor girl. And it took everything inside of me to not say something to this woman like, look at yourself. Look at what you are doing to this poor child. Like, it is not her fault. That she did not do anything to deserve to be spoken to this way, to be treated this way. I didn't. I just kind of held back. But as soon as she left, I was like, just breathe. Everything's okay. And the girl she was okay. She was fine. But I'm just witnessing these types of behaviors from people, and it's just blowing me away. It really makes me sad and mad. It makes me really mad. But definitely I'm picking up and seeing that. And then on the flip side, I've been seeing a lot of other, it's really one or the other. People are extra nice to each other and extra helpful to each other. Or today I had to go, I want to make candles, and I had to get more wax. And as I'm leaving the store, I'm holding the door for a woman to come in, and she just breezed by me, didn't say a word, just like walked in. And I wanted to say, you're welcome, but I didn't. I was just like, I don't know if she didn't even see me or notice me, that I stood there and held the door and waited for her to walk through. And she just like walked through like she deserved that from me. It didn't trigger me, but I noticed it. You know what I mean? So I want to remind myself that we are always working with potentials and potential timelines. So it's important to be present as much as possible, as much as humanly possible, because in any given moment we can shift our timelines into. So I could have taken today's energy, which did take me into my wounds and took me into some sadness and anger and loneliness and all of that. And I really allowed myself to feel it. I went out to the lake and kind of sat by the water and really worked a lot of that energy out, but I still had it with me. But if I wouldn't have at least attempted to really work through it and allow the emotions to come through, allow it all to flow through me, and instead attached to it, went with it, I could stay on a lower timeline and could really cause some, unpleasant experiences for myself for the rest of the day or the rest of the week, depending on how long we stay in those states of mind. So it's important to be mindful, especially as Mercury is retrograde. And I didn't write any of Mercury's transits here, but as we go into this week leading into Christmas and the full moon, and Chiron going direct, and we go through the solstice, we have some angles with Mercury that are really going to be showing us where our thoughts and our mindset is. So you really want to be careful what you're what you're believing and thinking at all times, because it's almost like an instant manifestation just for the universe to show you. Like I've been handed parts of me that I don't like, and I accept it. I'm like, yep, universe, I got that in me today. I'm human. I am here on this planet with everybody else, and it is not a cakewalk for any of us. So back to uniting in love. This is my biggest passion, obviously. It's a struggle from time to time, but I am very grateful to have this platform and the community that is building within here. Grateful for all of you. I truly am. If it weren't for you, I would not be able to do what I'm doing. Truly, we do need each other, and that is the whole point, is that I want to, my huge biggest intention is to build community of like-minded souls with the same intentions. It's because the more and more of us that get together, that energy is powerful. And I think that's where my biggest disappointment was in the last few days, because I had been working, and I'm not saying that it's not going to work out, but right now the people that I have been working with, like on the ground, like with in person, not the clients, but the people who have the other resources that I don't. It's like they have resources I don't, I have resources they don't, and it seemed like a nice match. Well then, and this is par for the course of my journey, life takes them into their own challenge, which happens to be money, finances, and their focus goes there, and it's not on the mission. The mission, my soul's like, do not divert from that. No matter how many times I'm faced with financial challenges or something, I know personally for me, things always just end up working out, and there's no sense in me panicking too much. But I do have to, trust that and listen to my intuition and follow the guidance to get to whatever it is that I need at that time. When we're on this journey, we are given exactly what we need when we need it, and that is part of the training. That is part of the class, let's say, or in Earth School. It's part of the training to trust and to understand that, and to not get too sucked into materialism. I've had to, like, over the course of the last 5 or 6 years, I've had to really learn how to be resourceful with what I have, and more of a minimalist, which I actually appreciate now. And I see in hindsight how much stuff I had in the past and how much energy and time I put into maintaining all the stuff that I didn't even need. And so that was, taking a big weight away from myself. Experiencing lower back pain this week. I feel like the universe is trying to slow me down for something. Yes, definitely. Low back pain, and also the spinal fluid. So a lot of this energy and these frequencies we're going through will be hitting us in that. You think about the 7 chakras run right up and down the spine, from the crown down to the tailbone. And the spinal fluid is actually what activates all of that. So if you're going too fast, or too much energy and effort put into a direction, or stress or worry in an area that the universe is like, you need to release that, you're going to feel it in your body. Low back pain typically somatically is linked to fear of not having financial security. Lo and behold, and then we end up working what we call breaking our back to work to get to that point. So definitely take it easy, for sure. I sympathize with that because I had low back pain all last week myself, and I used to have low back pain all the time. I had back surgery back in 2010, major back surgery. So I struggled with that for a long time, and I'm grateful and happy to say that I don't struggle with that anymore. But when we have certain energies, I feel it, and that's where I felt it too. Low back, and for me, my shoulder also. Drink plenty of water. Feelings of fatigue, extreme fatigue, yet insomnia at the same time is another big symptom that people are reporting. For me, I slept 12 hours last night. I don't know why, but the dreams Dreams have been very vivid and linked to people from my past. People that I wouldn't normally expect to be dreaming of have been coming up in my dreams lately. Um, but a lot of people are reporting that. Now, when this last X class hit, when it went off, it was just as I got the notification. A little bit before that, I had a really bad headache, and I don't typically get headaches. My sister had one too. A lot of people were complaining about headaches that day, Friday, or Thursday, and followed by what I would call, not, some would call it like just feeling like you're in the fog. For me, my eyesight will just go extremely blurry. It's hard to focus on anything, even with glasses. I have multiple different glasses. So the vision and the ringing of the ears, very, very strong and different pitches and whatnot. Dreams very vivid this week. Yes. Yeah, it's been very interesting in the dream world for sure. And for me, it's like, God, as soon as the sun goes down, my body's like, is it bedtime yet? Like, I'm just ready to lie down and go to sleep. And it's really hard to wake up. Now, that for this time of year in the Northern Hemisphere, if you live in an area like we do, Maureen, where it gets cold and of course it gets dark early and we don't have as much sunlight, our blood thickens, we go into a hibernation mode, so to speak, where maybe we're actually supposed to hibernate. I mean, a lot of us go against that because we're trying to keep up with our responsibilities and whatnot. But when our bodies are like, listen, no, the sun's down now. It's time to lay down. But then when I lay down, more energy like picks up, and it's just like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, kind of thing. So ride this wave for sure. I hibernate most winters. Yeah, me too. I do. The only thing that really perks me up is usually if it snows. I like to go outside in the snow. It wakes me up. It's like, oh, a refreshing change, and get to move around, usually by shoveling. But when in my younger years, it was skiing and stuff and sledding and things like that. But now it's just clearing off things, but having a chance to really kind of get outside. Now, today is actually a beautiful day outside, and I did go out for a little bit. But I didn't stay outside very long because it's the weekend, and where I live, no matter where I go, unless I just go in my backyard, which I could, there's people everywhere, and that's the other thing. I'm feeling since Thursday night, my sensitivity picked up. So I feel extra sensitive and emotional, but sensitive to everybody else's energy. So it doesn't take much at all for me to pick up on someone else's frequency, and then I have to quick check, this isn't me, this isn't mine, kind of thing. So another good reason to hibernate, I think, is I don't know, I'm usually pretty good at not picking up people's energy anymore, but not right now. Right now it seems very, very sensitive, or I just feel very sensitive, and I'm going with it. Okay, I'm going to be sensitive. No sense fighting it, right? There were a couple, we were talking about physical things, physical symptoms. A lot of people are getting sick. COVID is obviously still around. And I just said the word that might get me shadow banned again. I can't help it. Oh well. It's going around again. Not like it hadn't been. It's that RSV. There's a bunch of viruses and things that are swirling around. Hi Martin, good to see you too. I can't really see you, but I know that I can see you in my mind's eye. A lot of people are picking up on these viruses, and yeah. Exactly. I was talking about how I kind of got shadow banned this week a little bit from and I think it has to do with some words. There's new keywords that will do that, because it's not really humans. I mean, it might be humans behind it too, but there's definitely computer, let's just call them systems that pick up on words, and then they're like, we're not going to circulate these videos very much. And it's hard to do when I'm doing readings, because whatever comes out comes out. So it's going to be interesting. I don't feel like that's going to be a long-term thing. I really don't, but I definitely was put through the test this week when it comes to that, which was also kind of a disappointment. Yeah, the flu, exactly. Exactly. We are in this, we see that this as the same. I totally do. I agree with you. So, I missed out on, I actually did not get invited to participate in something that I had wanted to actually participate in this weekend. And it is a shame. It was another part of my disappointment, because it had to do with mystics in the area that I live in, and to not even be considered or invited really hurt my feelings. But I also saw it as another part of the tests and the Chiron stuff that I'm going through this week, because prior to all this, the universe had shown me some amazing things, and I had some amazing experiences. So when things are going really, really amazing, expect that that's sort of like our support team. Like, don't forget about all this amazing stuff. Now we've got a test and challenge for you. Bam. So it is important to not forget about that, but to also honor my feelings of disappointment and sadness. I had to really sit with it, because there's a part of me that protects myself from feeling those feelings, and just is like, oh well, I know it's a test. And very true, I know it's a test. I know it's showing me my wounds, yet all right, ouch, that hurt. I have to feel those feelings. So that's what I've been doing today. Last night into today, I was really feeling those feelings, but then I saw it from another perspective. Being as sensitive as I feel right now to other people's energies, and to energy in general, to put myself in indoors, surrounded by other people all day long, and engaging in reading tarot readings with them, could potentially put me in a position of picking up on one of those flu viruses that are flying around, and then jeopardize my experience with my grandson at the end of this week, and this beautiful solstice ceremony that I was invited to, and things that I'm really looking forward to. So I had to see it also from that perspective, like because this has happened before in the same location, that I don't want to compromise myself right now just because I'm a tarot reader doesn't mean that I have to be in every event where tarot readers are at. You know what I mean? So it was one of my inner child things, like, wah, I didn't get invited, I feel left out, kind of thing. But then, sitting with that, yes, God works in mysterious ways. Exactly. And it didn't really take a blow to my ego, but I had to really still feel it, because again, I felt like I was uniting with people, and then I suddenly felt like I was completely disregarded. And I know it's not intentional, and I also know that the people that are running the show that I'm talking about, they're kind of all over the place, and they're getting tested and stuff too. So, like, again, I know not to take it personally, but there's a part in me, and I have to honor that part in me that did take it personally and felt really bummed out. So I'm past that. But that was definitely a process that I was going through. Yeah, I know. It can be really cliquey, but you know what? That's human behavior, right? It doesn't matter what, does not matter, right? But my intention on building community is not in that way at all, at all. And I know that we can do it. I truly do. I know that it is possible. It's just taken its sweet old time. So again, very grateful for this community, because it's proving to a part in me that gets that can get really, what's the word, not only disappointed in people, but can just be like, forget it then, I quit, kind of thing. Hi. And I find that part likes to show its face every now and then, like, forget it. But I don't usually listen to that part of me at all. So, and it is a shame. It is a shame, but you know what? People are people, and it doesn't matter what environment or community that you're in. They tend to have certain patterns of behavior, and I would like to break that chain, that pattern. That's why it's so important to maintain healthy immunity. Yes, it is. Absolutely. I agree. I agree. Busy week ahead with only love. I know. I feel that too. I truly do. I look forward to the solstice. I love that energy, and I just feel like I know every day I should look forward to every day, but I just, right now, I'm feeling like I can't wait for this big squeeze to kind of release me, because it really took me in its grips between yesterday and today. And I guess allowing it to do so made it more shocking to me. But I had to. There's, like I said, there's a part of me that likes to really sweep that stuff under the rug and stay. But you can't. I mean, that's fake. If I'm like, it's all good, it's all fine, I'm denying a part of me that's like, no, that's shit. That's not fair. That really sucks. And how did that feel? Well, it actually felt like it really hurt my feelings. It feels disappointing. Those kinds of things. Thank you for being here. I really need your words in these tense and challenging days. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad to be here. And they are tense and they are challenging. And that's really what I came on. I'm like, should I even come on here? Because I don't know. I'm not in the best of... well, I actually feel better now. We're talking. But I was not in the best of moods when I first started, because I was still feeling the ickiness of being disappointed with people. And like I said, I had just gotten home from like having that excursion with people out, like holding the door for somebody who just like walked by and didn't even acknowledge that I was holding the door open for her, or the woman lashing out at this poor child working at the cash register. I mean, people are showing their true colors right now, and it is a sight to see. But on the flip side, I have to remember of the duality, because I have seen some amazing, beautiful people too. Mercury retrograde. Oh yeah. I think that what I was saying earlier was the Chiron retrograde, because I feel like Chiron is going to be going direct on the 26th at the full moon. And right now, Chiron is in a trine with Mars. In a trine with Mars. and a sextile to the moon. So when I read that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely feeling like my childhood wounds are emotionally charged right now, and I'm definitely feeling and sensing these wounds about these projects that I've been trying to get started with other people, and I do need these people. I can't do these specific projects that I'm talking about all alone. But their focus and mindset have gone towards money suddenly, and that's so it's frustrating. It's very frustrating for me, but I understand it. I get it at the same time. And so that, and this Mars trining Chiron is highlighting that, as well as how we initiate, how we speak up for ourselves or don't, how we stand up for ourselves or don't, how we confront others and the wounds behind confronting others from childhood. So I'm feeling all of that today. What did the stones have to say? Feel free to reach out. What did the stones have to say? Can't always get what you want. Yeah, it's definitely been one of those, like, some high highs. I had amazing experiences with people and with the angelic realms this week, followed by low lows, which honestly for me the low lows are repetitive. I remember them, I recognize them right away, and they're not devastating. But still feel them, you know. And I know other people are too, from my witnessing others do. What do the stones have to say? Let's see. Let's see what the cards have to say. And I want to first, let me. There we are. Just wanted to sneak out, but I'm going to get some Palo Santo out again to clear my energy. 8 of Swords. And you know what? I appreciate this card coming out, because that is how I was feeling. Really stuck in a lower vibration, stuck in my thoughts, stuck in negativity, and tied up in it. You know, and I could see it at the same time. She's looking at herself in the mirror like, I see you. I see that you are in this negative state. That's a frustrating place to be when you see it. But I'm also being taught to not bypass that, to actually go into it and honor it. Not to stay with it, not to create some kind of woe is me story, but to take it inward and go deeper within, and really, it's showing me some things. It's showing me my child, my inner child, for sure. All right. Let's get a message for us all. That's right, honest start. And I reflect in my past how long I would get stuck in that stuff. Weeks, sometimes months, sometimes, or definitely days. All right, 9 of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. So here we are again, with just the dark energy that's lingering over us, the negativity, the challenges, and for some, anxiety, for others, sadness, frustration, disappointment. But you see this other white dove that is sort of transparent, as if it's from the angelic realm, is also watching over and sort of trying to keep these crows, which are representing our negative thought forms, from really penetrating too deeply. Instead, it's helping us to see, witness those negative thought forms. And what do they do? How do you react? How do you respond? What do you do to yourself? Page of Pentacles. So it's another fresh opportunity to take these wounds, take these challenges, take this negativity, and transmute it, change it into something useful. Even if you're not quite feeling like you're into it, when you finally take that energy and like, I guess me even coming on here and talking about it, it has helped kind of transmute the energy. Like, now I'm feeling better. So thank you all. I'm feeling more optimistic and able to really clear my thoughts and see things from a higher perspective. And this really is important, to keep the big picture vision alive, no matter how much we get knocked down. There definitely is an energetic, and I don't want to say the word because I will get shadow banned, but battle. There's a light and dark, and it's not just on the earth, it is within the cosmos, and we're playing it out and experiencing it and witnessing it here on the ground floor, so to speak, in Earth School. But it's always our choice as to whether to stay in it or use it for something more productive and helpful for ourselves to really elevate and gain a new perspective, gain clarity on our past. So here's another thing that's coming up from the past, and that's linked to a lot of the dreams. Nine of Pentacles at the bottom. That's linked to a lot of the dreams that we're having right now too. And it's helpful to take these memories from the past that are coming up and see how far you've come and who you were then and who you are now. It is a big eye opener to actually reflect on your personal growth, inner growth, and the changes that we've made. We're also going through really big energetic changes in our energy body, which is linked to a lot of the physical sensations that we'll be feeling. One of my friends, she's not on here right now, but she said she can't drink coffee anymore because it's been really affecting her. And I was like, your energy body's changing. I went through a phase where I think it was like 3 or 4 years I couldn't drink caffeine or coffee. But I knew that something, because her gifts are starting to really come online, and that changes all the energetics in the body. And when we're ingesting and taking in certain substances, it really, the body's going to be like, nope, you'll have reactions to that. So pay attention to like certain substances or foods, or even just like what you're watching on TV or Netflix, or what you're listening to. Frequency wise, it's going to have an effect, and if it does, you're going to be like, I can't watch this anymore. I can't listen to this anymore. I can't eat that anymore. I can't drink this anymore. I just can't. The body's like, no more. And you fight that, and you're really going to regret it. Most people don't. Most people don't fight that because it's so off-putting. But Nine of Pentacles overall. So here we go. This is our dreams, our hopes, our wishes, our desires. And we so want them to come to fruition and be able to pick from that proverbial tree the fruits of our labor, right? Watch your thoughts, watch your mindset. Next to sugar, it's the next biggest drug. Yeah, I know. I agree. And it's funny you mentioned sugar, because I used to be such a, loved sugar. And for whatever reason, naturally kind of, I don't now. It's not even appealing to me. So it's really not in my diet much at all. So sometimes we naturally just sort of change and evolve away from certain things like that as well. But it is a shame that children are still like, and given like Halloween, I really saw that with my nieces and nephews and stuff, and these big bags of candy. I'm like, oh my God, what are they putting into you? But I have to, sorry, my candle's doing something weird. I picked and choose my battles, Okay, let me blow my candle out. It did not want to go out either. Interesting. So, Mercury retrograde does some interesting things for me as well. I like to call Mercury the trickster. And sometimes when Mercury's mixed with other energies, there definitely are things that they make me laugh, really. It's sugars in everything. I know. Well, lucky for me, and with food prices, I'm very, very cautious. And like I said, I'm minimalist with what I buy, and what I do purchase is all organic, and no GMOs, no high fructose corn syrup. I'm sure that there might be a little bit of sugar in some things, but not much of anything really that I ingest anymore. And you can, it's a shame. We have here in the United States, I don't know if it's other places, but a grocery store called Whole Foods. And it's thought that Whole Foods is a grocery store all full of whole foods. I'll probably get shadow banned for this too. But in sharing some posts on Facebook a few months ago with GMOs now are called something else. Oh, I forget. But they have to label it, but they don't have to label it GMO anymore, but they have to label it with this other word or initials. I wish I could remember off the top of my head. And some don't even have to do that. They just put a QR code. And so you have to go around the grocery store like scanning stuff now to see if what's in the food you eat, which is crazy. But it turns out that this Whole Foods store was, even their own baked items had, GMOs basically. And they were bought out by Amazon anyway years ago. So that something had to shift and change. It's just that we have to really be aware of everything we buy, everything we eat, everything we put in our body, more and more and more. I certainly hope that this video doesn't shadow ban me. It's a shame. That's the world we're living in right now. The devil. All right, here we go. Okay. So this Nine of Swords, this stress, this anxiety, this worry, I'm picking up more like worry, frustration, anger, less than desirable thoughts, emotions, feelings. This is mostly in the mind. It's linked to past experiences that we've had that have really had their grips on us. And it keeps coming back to money for me. We get markets on Saturdays, otherwise it's store-bought crap. Yeah, those markets are nice. We have them in the spring and summertime here, but not in the winter. It's all crap. We do have a couple nice, we do have a smaller market here that is all organic. It truly is. So that's nice. That you have to really hunt those down and find them. But the devil, I'm getting also passed down from our parents and their parents, generation to generation, these thought patterns that cause us anxiety, stress, worry, fear, doubt. And that's another thing we are working through right now, is clearing ancestral patterns, whether we're aware of it or not. And this is telling me that we're actually farther along than we think. We're moving further along in that than we realize. So to keep going, keep moving to higher ground. We're going to have times where we have to face the darkness within ourselves, but it gets easier and easier each time, each pass. I'm hearing, like, you think about how, like, we are rotating and spinning, and we are also moving through time and space, and we're moving through all of these different frequency waves, and this is new. What we're in right now is so brand new to all humans, to Earth itself, that it is it's a cleansing. But as we're purging and cleansing, it's bringing up to the surface all of this darkness, all of this trauma and fear. And it's constantly shown to us also on the world stage, and it's projected to us. It's been programmed into us to fear certain things, and to really, it's to keep us in line and keep us contained and keep us programmable, easily programmable. Last degrees, yes. Thank you for bringing that up too, because Pluto will be moving into Aquarius next month. So we also are in the last degrees. Pluto's in the last degrees of Capricorn. How could I forget? How could I forget? That card right there says it all. Yes. But overall, this is a spiritual awakening. These are lessons, these are tests, these are important things for us to experience and to grow and evolve from, and to gain a new understanding, awareness. You see the eye, the all-knowing eye there. We are seeing things from a new angle, a new perspective, and yeah, For sure. For sure. Wow. How could I forget that? There were some other things that came up to me also to reflect back to 2017, to reflect back to, oh, I should have wrote them down. I should have wrote them down. They came to me last night, but I was not in the mood. I was not in the mood to write anything down. Sometimes I get bratty myself, so I promise to get out of that funk. I'm going to read us a message from the Oracle of the Seven Energies, because we're moving out of a 7-year and moving into the 8-year cycle, 2024. We are shifting all kinds of stuff, aren't we? Yes, everything spins around us, yet we are moving at the same time. Like everything is moving. From what I'm seeing, time and space itself is, yeah, and you notice how time sped up, right? Like real fast all of a sudden, super fast. We're moving through, and I'm not going to pronounce it right, the Kuiper Belt. Is that how you say it? And there's another thing that just came to me, the galactic center. So the sun's going to be conjunct the galactic center very soon. And the galactic center has been, I think it's scientists actually discovered that there is a giant black hole in the center of the galactic center, which is kind of like a vacuum cleaner of sorts. So that's interesting. Now, I'm not an astronomer or any of these things. I just go by these visions I get. All right. Kuiper, yes. This is good. We're going full circle right now because this was one of the main reasons why I came on here today and why I have this t-shirt on. Birds of a feather. And one of the biggest sensations I had this morning when I woke up, shortly after I woke up and went through this whole process of being disappointed, was suddenly feeling like very lonely all over again. And it took over me for about like 2 hours. 2 hours it took over me. The black sun. Birds of a feather flock together. That's right. And I know this to be true. And I also know that we're in a time and space where even those that I have been closest to for like my whole life even, are off on their own journeys right now. There's no love lost. Like we'll reconnect and see each other, but it's almost as if, and I kept asking him, like, is there nobody right now that is on the same frequency or on the same page or in alignment with me? Or what is this reason why I keep connecting to people and then they get pulled away. I understand that's my Chiron wound. I understand that. But is there more to it than that? And I was shown that, like, right now, everybody is really hyper focused on something on their path. A lot of people are hyper focused on money right now. Other people are hyper focused on, well, I'm also noticing a lot of people being hyper focused on injustices right now, for sure. And then you've got a lot of people that are hyper focused on Christmas and the hoopla that comes along with that. And no disrespect to Christmas, but like, I don't get into it like some people do. I do understand that this is a holy period of energetically, but I feel the solstice is more, I feel that for myself, the solstice is way more sacred to me personally, than anything else. And I know that everybody needs to have something to look forward to and celebrate, and I'm not against any of that, but just the way I witness and watch people act and treat each other every year, and then we've got all of these, it's ridiculous. On their fears, yeah. There's been a lot of people on that, and rightly so. There's a lot of fear projected into the world right now, as well as Chiron being extremely active. All right, let's read Birds of a Feather. Have you ever wondered how people naturally gravitate to one another and discover a surprising intimacy and connection? There is a kind of magnetic energy, like an invisible ray of light, that gently pulls people together to form something beautiful that can be shared. As in the saying, birds of a feather flock together, it comes from an instinctual need for belonging, you might say. We need community to survive, to thrive, and to grow. We humans are social creatures after all. None of us are meant to be alone. The concept of belonging is playing an important role in your life currently. Perhaps you recently found yourself in a group where you knew you were in the right place. Trust those strands of connection, for now is the time to thrive in the community. What you will find is a deeper and more expansive way of looking at the world by barring yourself to others and sharing ideas, hopes, and dreams. However long you stay here in this journey of becoming who you're meant to be, connecting to community and participating in fellowship is the best thing for you right now. You will flourish as part of a network of like-minded, like-hearted people. Stick to what feels good and resonates with your heart as true. When you understand the value of this community, you will discover everything you're hoping for and much more than you're expecting. And one of the other things I want to bring up about community, and something that I think we all know from personal experience, but I have been really hyper focused on this, because when we get together as uniting in love, and there's no competition, there's no comparison, but there's always with a shared intent, a shared focus, and a shared outlook. That in itself is so not only uplifting, but healing. And I feel like one of the many reasons why humanity is having such a difficult time uniting in love is because of this perceived separation from each other, and the wounds and fears that we've endured in our past connections to each other. Another big reason why I know in my heart of hearts that creating and forming and holding and maintaining true heart-centered community is the only way for me, the only way to go. So it has been a beautiful ride, and gaps in between where I feel when we're kind of in that void or stretched out in time and space, or when people drop off and they go in their own way, I feel that as like a big hit, not to my ego, but to my heart. And it's something that I have to work through and get over. And I will, because I'm not going to give up on that dream and that focus of continuing to build and create community, and a strong community where we can lift each other up and support each other instead of tearing each other down, competing against each other, comparing ourselves to one another, or assigning roles. Of course, we have to roles, but to understand like each other's and dialogue about each other's strengths and weaknesses, so that we flow in a more harmonic manner together, and also to be open about our traumas and our triggers and our wounds, not to give that responsibility to anybody else, but when you're really connecting with others in a heart-centered way, it's good to get to know each other in and out, so that we understand when, because we will. It doesn't matter how healed you think you are or how enlightened you think you are, you're gonna get triggered. That's just how it is. So it's nice to understand each other in that manner as well, even to have some kind of safe word. But if somebody kind of goes red, it's like you have a certain safe word, and then suddenly they're like, oh, I see myself now. It is lifelong healing for sure. So I'm gonna continue with this vision, and I won't give up. I drove by again that sign that says, literally, it just says, don't give up. And it's like a yard sign, and it's sitting right at the road, and I drive by it every day. And today I was like in this mood, and I was just, there was that part of me, it was just like, I quit, I'm done. And then drove by the sign, it says, don't give up. And I have to laugh at the whole thing, because really I'm not going to give up. But there are times where, we get tired, and it's nice to be able to draw on a lifeline from somewhere. Let that shift go. That's right. And it's important to let it go, for sure. I hold no hard feelings towards anybody, and I know that nobody intentionally meant to hurt my feelings or anything. I see it as that universal test, but I had to just kind of be real. Like, this is where I'm at. I just had this big kick in the gut, and I'm shaking it off. I'm not sweeping it under the rug, and I'm not going to just be like, it's all good, it's fine. Mostly, yeah, but I've got to start really truly honoring how I really feel in the moment, and not building a story with it, but yeah, that's smart. All right. So, and then let that take me to where I need to see what part of me is still very vulnerable right now. What part of me needs more love, not less? What part of me needs to be heard and not suppressed? And we all have to do that. It's important to not suppress our parts, because they're with us forever. That's that internal family services I was talking about. Our internal family is all our parts, and we've got to honor them all. So, and that's my next big chunk of my journey, is practicing that more and more, not just with myself, but with others. And it's a beautiful ride. So I hope to share more of that with you guys as I continue on that part of the journey, because it's profound. And I've already noticed profound healing that comes through dialoguing with these parts that we all have. So that's what I have. Thank you guys all for joining me. I feel so much better. I'm glad that we were all on here together, dialoguing and chit-chatting about the energy. Because it can get it to be a lot at times. And even the little things, they seem little, but when you're feeling big feelings, you know it's coming from a deeper place. And it's important to acknowledge that and be aware of them. So that's what I have for us all right now. Thank you guys. I love you so much. Grateful for all of you. Definitely a blessing. And I'm glad that I got y'all on here today. I didn't know. I thought Mercury retrograde was going to be like, nobody's going to be on here today. But I'm pleasantly surprised. See? No more disappointment. Thank you. Love you guys. Bye. I do feel better. I do. Thank you.